My wife was the best client I ever had till we started dating.
Oh, no.
Ah! Then I'll tell her, all right, babe, get your lunges in. Lunges, I don't want to do those.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh! Big Jones the Juggernaut. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Unleashed. And as you can see, for once, I'm not talking to myself in my garage because I got my buddy Derek here. Actually, you know what? You have never needed anybody to introduce you. So do me a favor, look right there and tell everybody who you are, what you do, and why you're so freaking awesome.
Well, first and foremost, Big Jones is the man. We've been friends for a little over a year. Invited me to do a podcast. And we want to share a little bit on the training aspect, what I do, where I come from, what I'm all about. So I started training when I was 18 years old out of LA Fitness in Forest Ranch, San Diego. And I actually lost 100 pounds in weight loss first. And then after I lost 100 pounds the wrong way, I starved myself, I ran, I did cardio, I did things that I thought made me lose weight, but they were incorrect.
Wait a minute, you mean that doesn't work?
Yeah, so when you get into this industry, which you already know, in order to drop or lose body fat, you have to produce muscle, right? So a lot of people tend to cardiovascular activity. Now, cardiovascular is fantastic, but people use the word called cardio. Cardio is a short term for cardiovascular, which means being healthy. I love being healthy, bro, but I want to look better with my clothes off.
Agreed.
I
haven't seen the finished product. You know, maybe down the line we'll figure it out.
Here we go. So with that said, to make your body look pretty, it doesn't need to really incorporate too much cardio. You actually need to increase your strength training. The more muscle you build, the more body fat you drop. So most people have this theory that if they run 1,000 miles, they lose weight. However, I'll tell you that in 30 minutes of high intensity strength training, you burn more calories than 2 hours on a cardiovascular equipment. Now here's the catch on that. It's called the afterburn effect, right? 1 day of strength training leaves you sore for 3 days. Cardiovascular activity, the second you step off the treadmill or the running, you stop burning calories. So do you want to work hard or do you want to work smart? The smart way to build muscle and drop body fat is through strength training. And if you want to go through the long roads of hell, do all the cardio you want. What sounds better to you?
I mean, look, I'll take 30 minutes in the gym over 30 minutes on the treadmill any day. Now, Derek, well, let me ask you something here, because the reason why I have you on here and why I'm so interested in what you have to say is because, you know, so we're in Metroflex in Murrieta, California. Quick shout out to those guys. I want to ask you these questions, man, because there's a whole wall full of trainers here at Metroflex, and they all have their different, it's like the X-Men, they all have their different superpower, they all have their different sort of thing, but you seem like you are universally admired and universally respected amongst not just the trainers but the patrons as well. So it really feels like you are doing we get the shout out over
Got
there.
my boy Coach Russ in the background.
There we go. It really feels like you are doing the absolute most, but I don't see you like doing anything like, I don't see you like on the corner hawking snake oil, you know? So what is it exactly about you that sets you above the rest? I'd love to hear this.
So let me tell you guys very simply, I can motivate you and educate you like an encyclopedia. I can get you ready to jump up and change your life, right? So motivation, education, very important, especially in this industry. However, the most important factor is accountability. Does that make sense?
Oof.
So I motivated you, educated
That's
you
the
today.
A word, man. That's a scary word for these kids these days, especially these people out here.
Because to persevere through things you don't want to do takes energy and love and all of your drive, right? So in order to do those things, you have to work harder than everybody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It makes sense to us. I mean, it makes sense to me. It seems like a lot of people, I mean, look, you're on social media, I'm on social media, all you guys out there watching us, there is so much muddy water out there when it comes to fitness, and it really seems like you take the more holistic approach. You take the more like, hey, listen, if I'm not the right person for the job, let's get you to where you need to be. And I think that's why I call you the mayor. My wife actually, shout out to my wife, she actually coined that you're the mayor around here, the mayor of Metroflex. And that's not to dump on anybody, but that just seems to be like, I mean, it's an elected spot, and it seems like the people have kind of spoken,
Well, I really appreciate that, bro. And I want to explain to you why I'm like that. Guy named Bobby Mikis, the vice president of LA Fitness. This was back when I was 18 years old. I think this was in 2008. He always told me that to be the most successful trainer, or I actually started selling memberships, the most successful is the person that is the mayor of the club, who says hi to everyone, who shakes hands within 5 feet. You never miss a handshake or a person to talk to. That's what makes you the mayor of the club. Now, after you become the mayor, clients start approaching you. How do I do this, coach?
Yeah.
How much do you charge? This and that. I never attack the training approach, guys. That's why I'm successful. People laugh at me. The book says I'm wrong, but check this out. I only get to see my clients 1 hour a day, on average 1 to 2 times a week, because training's a little bit more pricey, right?
Sure.
Training is a privilege. So with that said, if I only see you for 2 hours a week, that means you have the rest of the day, which is 23 hours, and the rest of the week, which is 178 hours, to mess it all up.
Yes, that's true.
So in my hour session with my clients, I have to make sure their life is good. I got to think outside the box. Is your relationship okay? Is your work okay? Are you happy at home? Are you depressed? Are you going through anxieties? Because here's the thing, guys. If you walk into the gym and you're not there mentally, you're not going to perform physically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So I need to make sure that your whole life is okay. Are you being treated okay at home? Are you feeling loved? Are you loving yourself? Are you showing the world who you are, or are you hiding behind a mask? So the minute I find out what that current client is going through mentally, then I attack the physical approach.
Wow.
But without the brain, the body can't what?
Can't work.
Can't move, can't function. So I have to take care of your mind and your heart. And the book of training says not to be personable. Sorry, I want to know your whole family.
Right.
I want to know everything you're going through, the goods, the bads. This way I can implement a strategy to help your life change. Notice, I never said make your body look better. Because guess what? If you're confident in your brain and you look in the mirror in a positive way, it just happens to look better, right?
It really
But
does.
you could also look good and then look in the mirror and then also see something bad. That's all mental. So with that said, I believe I stand out because I care about their whole life, not just the hour that they spend with me.
That's tremendous. That's a lot. And you know what? That's a lot. I think a lot of people might take that for granted, because that's when you lay it out like that, that's a lot to take on. And I think a lot of people might feel overwhelmed by that, but that doesn't really seem to affect you. It seems like you take this all on. I know by your tattoos that you're a religious person, you're a holy man, and I feel like that probably has something to do with it. I feel like you bring that out in people. But, and I'm going to make a total shift here for a second, I know that when I was young and when I was talking to people and I was taking on all their issues, I'm going to lay it right out. Some of the ladies must get a crush on you. I know that. And look, wait. I know Derek, for all you guys watching right now, Derek is a married man, happily married man. I've met his wife and she looks quite happy. And also a new baby, is that right?
New baby too.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
That's fantastic. But, that line has got to be, on your mind at least sometimes. Because, I mean, even you sit there and you talk to people long enough and, you're just kind of like, well, oh, wow, look at that. And
Yeah.
Doing your squats.
Yeah, I would say that there's always other emotions people hide behind conversation, for sure. Here's the thing. I'm a married man with a very beautiful wife and a very beautiful baby daughter, new one. One of the main reasons I've been successful is you never dip in your own pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I have very extremely beautiful clients, and I think all of my women I work with are extremely beautiful, but I know that they know I'm a married man, and people are watching in the gym all the time. How do you look at women, right? Most guys break their neck 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah.
But when you do that, here's the thing is, one of your potential clients will be on the treadmill and examining you, checking out a girl 3 or 4 times, and then they think you're what?
Creeper.
A creeper or a perv.
I did not think of that, I'll be honest.
No.
That's funny.
Well, there's been one client I've ever dated.
Uh-oh, really?
and that's my wife.
Oh, see?
And as my witness, her mom is the one that hooked us up in the class. So, am I guilty of breaking my own rule? I've done it one time and I got married to her, but yes.
I mean,
that is one of the biggest downfalls of coaches is thinking with the wrong mind.
No, I mean, look, if you go to the casino and every time, you know, you split ace, you split eights, and the one time you don't, you win a bunch of money, then obviously, you know, the gamble worked out. So,
right.
You know, obviously, you know, I assume you got to know your wife before it, you know, became a fish.
My wife was the best client I ever had till we started dating.
Oh, no.
Then I'll tell her, all right, babe, get your lunges in. Lunges, I don't want to do those.
Yeah.
You know? So, with that said, brother, I would just say that I look for every opportunity to help someone's emotional status. Beauty and what people look like have no standing in that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All women should be treated the same. All men should be treated the same. The same way I put my hand on the men's shoulders, I put them on the female shoulders.
You do. I've seen it.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, like, I can't act like I'm just interested in one woman or one client. They all have to be treated equally and with love.
And like you said before, people see that. People see,
They watch everything.
Yeah. I had not thought of that, you know.
They when you walk around the gym, how tall do you walk? Do you walk with confidence? Do you lead by example? Do you give advice? Do you only talk about yourself? There's a lot of coaches that just talk about themselves all the time.
Yes, there are.
Good for you. I'm really glad at the work you did, but what did you do for your clients? Because it's not about me. It's not about the trainers. It's about the client and what they need. It
really does seem like a lot of trainers do give you their, especially for me, I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn. I am a bigger guy, you know, I'm about 270, 280. And, you know, when you first enter a gym, it does seem like you get all these resumes coming in. You know, you get like, hey, you know, I'm a former IFBB pro, you know, I got 3 people I train who got their pro cards and this and that. When you approached me, you were very much just, you know, hey, how are you? Is this your first day? Welcome, you know, we got some great equipment, some great people here. You never tried to sell me on who you were or what you could do for me. You just were welcoming. You were just a cool dude, you know? And in a gym like Metroflex, it could be a little intimidating for someone who maybe doesn't work out habitually, or maybe they work out at like a LA Fitness or an EOS, you know, that's kind of a welcome everybody type of gym. God forbid, like Planet Fitness, and you go from Planet Fitness to Metroflex. I mean, that's a big
that's a big jump.
That's a big jump, you know. And regardless of what people say, there are tiers to this. Whether they say there's levels to this shit, there's definitely levels. So the fact that you just came and offered a friendly handshake and said welcome, you know, I feel like that goes a long way, and I feel like that goes to why you're so respected. Speaking of, you know, everything that you put into it, you have you're also a cycle instructor, right?
My shirt.
Yeah.
So I am a spin instructor over at Fitness at SoCal. We are called Cycle Fit. We're right next door to the Krav Maga studio. I train a spin class there, and I also train at the Krav Maga. It's called Warrior Fit. Warrior Fit. I do dumbbells and training as well, and it's in the group platform. Now, the reason I love spin, you asked me earlier.
Please.
Spin is like 45 minutes of my life that I can just get in my own box, right? Get in a room with dark lights, the lights aren't even on. I hear music, I dance, I hear the emotional talk. And me being the instructor, I like to connect with my riders. I like to ask them how their day's going. I like to talk about any failures they had during the week. And it's an opportunity to be a motivational speaker. I'm not big enough to be on stage yet, maybe one day, but on that bike at that time, I'm the motivational speaker. So it allows me to move people past the 45 minutes into the rest of their day and the rest of their week, because they remember those words and the time and effort I took out to dance with them, but also emphasize on what they need help with. Do they need to love themselves that week? Did they go through anyone telling them they weren't good enough the week before? Did they have a lazy week? Did they let themselves down the week before? And I remind them that right now, like right now in this video, if you're having a rough time, right now is a sign to wake up, right? And then when they leave the spin class, the rest of the week's toned up till they come back and see me the following week. So that's why I like to connect with the spin.
That's fantastic. you are definitely all over the Inland Empire, just dispensing all this great wisdom, all this motivation, all this knowledge. One thing I want to tap on that I'd be crazy to not bring up is obviously your work with youth, with children. Please tell us about that. I see it all over Instagram. We're going to make sure we get some videos up of that. Please tell me all about it.
So when I work with the youth, it's my biggest passion because, like I said, I wasn't a kid that had all the attention in the world, and I was the type of kid that needed it. And usually the kids that lash out, ADHD, anxiety, depression, things go through that, they just need someone to hang out with them and talk to them like an adult, right? But in a kid's point of view. So me being the biggest kid literally in the entire gym, I get along with the kids. And the kids see my tattoos, they say, oh, he's cool, this and that. I tell the kids the same thing their parents tell them, but they just tend to listen to me more because I take the time to understand the kids, see what they're going through, why they feel like that. Are they getting bullied? Are they getting picked on? Do they not have any friends, you know? And when I take that little bit of time and I talk to these kids like adults, they're receptive, they listen. And then we have fun. And then do I have to discipline the kids? Yes. But because I established that friendship and that trust from the beginning, building that rapport, they work hard for me and their whole life starts to change. This way I don't have to get them at 4 years old and break all their bad habits. Most of the time with adults I work with now, they have 20, 30, 40 years of bad habits that they established, and I got to come in and break all of it.
There you go.
The youth are like sponges. They take in everything. Whatever you explain to them and talk to them about, they learn and they grow because they believe you. But it's our job to create that trust.
That's so true, and it's crazy that you mentioned that because when I was in high school, we had a footy coach, a football coach named Coach Wyndham, and he was a little older than college age, maybe mid-20s, maybe early 30s, but you know, he was that guy that was just a little cooler than the rest of the coaches, you know. And same kind of thing, he was kind of jacked, he had some tattoos, he had one on his neck, you know, and he would kind of tell us those, you know, because we were high school age kids, he would tell us those stories about, I was with this babe last night, like, what, you know. So, you know, but you had that, obviously these kids are a little young for that, but you know, but you have that personality that, like you said, you're telling them the same thing that their parents are telling them, but you don't have to tell them those things.
So, like, here's the thing with kids. Sometimes parents love their kids so much and they want to just do good for them, make them go to practice, make them do all these things. Sometimes the kids put in their heart and mind, they don't really trust their parents. They feel like the parents are pushing them so hard for them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The second I establish trust with the kid, I ask the kid, what do you want? Not what does your parents want?
Yeah.
What do you want? 9 out of 10 times exactly what the parents told me the kid wanted. But the kid doesn't trust because they don't understand at that age that parents push you to be better.
Sure.
And all the parents I work with are amazing parents. They push their kids to be their best. So I just have to acknowledge and remind those kids that it's all love. In the same way that their parents love them, I love them because I want to make them better. Then they start to learn that nothing in this life that's worth having is easy to come by. Then it starts to build the relationship up with their parents. Instead of the parents yelling at them, the parents give them a positive compliment. You worked hard today, good job. It actually reestablishes their relationship.
Look at you.
See what I'm saying? So
Great
it fixes
bonds.
the whole family. Now, why do I have so many groups of families? Because I start training the kids or the parents first. They love the training so much. What do? Hey, I have a sister. Hey, I got a son. Hey, I got a mom. Then all of a sudden the whole family's training.
And if that's not like the basis for creating, you know,
Success.
exactly.
The whole family's at home now eating right. The whole family's exercising as a unit. They have something good and positive to talk to the dinner table. How much they squatted. How much Coach D killed them that day. You know, good jokes, but it creates an opportunity for them to talk as human beings and friends instead of parent and kid. Now they have a common hobby.
Yeah.
See that? And then they all fall in love with the gym.
That's wild. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Let me ask you this though, with regards to kids, because obviously when you and I were younger, you know, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have all these distractions. Do you find yourself having to sort of, I assume that, you know, these families are able to come together because they're having to break some of the same habits. Obviously with kids, they're still developing, but you know, I'm an adult. I'm on my phone a lot of the day. I watch YouTube a lot, and I'm scrolling through Instagram. Do you find that breaking these habits is happening on the young and the older?
I would say the older are a little worse than young. Okay,
That's
so
wild.
if you're a parent out there, one of the best points of my day is waking up and sitting in the restroom, and I get to sit on my phone for about an hour, right? And then I just get to literally see all the stories and get out of my mind, look on social media. That's wrong. I could be doing work,
It's true.
right?
Yeah.
So when parents tell their kids, "Hey, get off your phone," but then the parents are on their phone all the time, does that seem fair?
Not really.
Part of the reason why the kids don't trust them. So if the parents want to have the kids get off the phone, have the kids get off the phone, but you get off the phone too.
There you go.
And then do something together. It should be health related, exercise related. Then this starts to build a friendship. So with that said, I think every human being has bad habits of being on the phone and social media,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
So we all have to have less social media,
Yeah.
more time with people and things that actually matter.
Exactly. Except for BJBL Unleashed. Watch that on YouTube and Instagram. And don't forget to check out Derek Soro on Instagram. Hey, Derek, man, I really appreciate all the great information you've given us. I really hope that we can do this again sometime.
Yep.
Really enlightening, man. I feel like I've gotten to know you a lot more just now than I have in the past year, man. We got to do this more often.
You know I'm down.
Hell yeah.
You know I'm down, brother.
So do me a favor. Take a look into that camera. Tell them who you are, where they can find you.
Okay, fantastic. Coach Derek Soro. I go by Coach D. I'm here out of Metroflex Gym in Murrieta. I currently work with 150 clients, being Pop Warner and youth football athletics, and also in-person one-on-one training and also group training. For any inquiries, you can message me on Instagram, Coach D Fitness, or you can inquire, Coach D Soro on Instagram, or you can come into Metroflex Gym, book your first session on me, and looking forward to meet you. Lastly, you can find me at Cycle Fit Studio, which is at Fitness at SoCal, fitnessatsocal.com, and we can meet one of those ways.
Excellent, excellent, brother. I appreciate your time. We're definitely going to do this again sometime. And for all you monsters out there, I'm Big Jones the Juggernaut, and you are welcome.